The biggest investment that you're going to make is in yourself. You can't think that you're going to get everything for free. So I hate when people say you can start a business for free. It's no such thing. You can start a hustle for free.
I like that.
You can't
Wow.
start a business for free.
Business and a hustle.
Business
That's
and
two
hustle
different
is two
things.
different things. Now it's going to take hustle to get that business, but the hustle, it's in you. The hustle is free. The business is not.
Yo, so check this out. This is another episode of More Than a Barber. I am your host, and listen, I got my co-host here with me. What's up,
Hey,
Mo?
what's going on?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Listen, we was just talking, and it's so crazy how we can literally come here and chop it up, have good conversations. Y'all not here in the
Always.
studio, but man, we got some gems today. We got a good episode. I can't wait to get into it. But man, before we get into it, Mo, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back on the couch with you again.
Let's
Episode
go.
2, me and you.
Yeah.
What we gonna do?
For real. So what you been up to? What you been doing? Tell us about what
Man,
you
just-
got going on in your world.
I'm just pushing. I'm in the invention space, meeting with engineers. Just trying to find an engineer that fits for me. I found that in the invention space, a lot of the engineers, it's male dominated. We really need to get more women in the engineering field because I think
Yeah.
they have a different perspective when it comes to designing, especially for a woman. When you're designing for women, they have that woman's touch. So just trying to figure that little space out, get more into it, learn more.
Love it. I would think it would be the same with having a male engineer along with a female engineer.
Right.
Or is it more of the aesthetic, the look that a woman has?
It's definitely the aesthetic. It's the look. I think women are more detail oriented.
Yeah.
We pay attention to everything. Who
That's a fact.
lashes that on the floor? We're gonna pay attention to everything. So I
Yeah.
think they're more detail oriented. I think women's hands are naturally smaller, so they're going to be able to design for that. I think the sleekness of certain things. It's
Yeah.
just an eye for detail, and I'm finding that the more males I work with. I get a lot of feedback from the female clients, and they're saying, "Hey, can you do this? Can you do this?" And I think just a woman designing is a little bit better for that industry that I'm in.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I know what she's working on, but it's a secret until it actually comes out. But I'll tell you right now, it is, in fact, it's going to be a game changer.
a game
Especially
changer.
for the hair industry. And as you know, I have been a professional barber for 15 years. And I've been in the game, and what she's getting ready to create is bigger than what I've seen and bigger than what you've seen. Can't wait till it comes
I'm
out.
excited.
Can't leak it now. Can't leak it. But yeah,
No.
it's all good. So, Mo, man, we really trying to talk about something that I think has been on my heart to really share. But my thing is, why do you think like a lot of entrepreneurs now feel as if they can do it by themselves? They don't need a team. They don't need certain ones to kind of help them because they want to be self-made. And is even that a thing?
It's definitely a thing. I think it has a lot to do with trust. Has a lot to do with ownership. Saying that I did this by myself. I didn't get any help. And I always go back to that's a struggle within our community.
Yeah.
We like to say that I did it myself. I did not do this with any help. You're not going to go far by yourself. I think a team definitely helps, but it's the right team. And I think trying to find that team, because I've had the wrong team. I've
Yeah,
had to fire
me
that
too.
team.
Me too.
I've had to work by myself. And then it's being very picky on who I bring to work with me. So it ain't the right mentality, but that's a lot of mentality that there's just a lot of entrepreneurs have, and then when you're trying to get people to work with you, it's also people want to be paid for their time. And when you're starting off as a brand new entrepreneur, you ain't got no money.
You don't.
You look like it.
Trying to figure it out. Yeah. You look like it, but you try to figure it out.
You definitely trying to figure it out. So I think a lot of people want to do it by themselves just because it's hard to say, I don't have the money to pay you, and I don't have the money to pay you for your time that you're going to invest in me, and not knowing what the payoff is going to be in the end.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be transparent.
Okay.
For the beginning stages of my career, I was that way. I'm gonna do it by myself. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna shine on these individuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because I want to be the man. And I found that that's a selfish way to look at business. It's a selfish mindset from an entrepreneurship standpoint.
Yeah.
It's selfish.
It's selfish and it's also trauma. I'm gonna always go. I'm
How?
gonna always go back to trauma. I want to do it by myself because I can depend on myself. I know that I'm not gonna let
Unfail me.
myself
Yeah,
down.
that's
I'm not
fair.
gonna allow other people's in my space that's gonna come and say I'm gonna do this for you, and then they
Yeah.
let me down. And
Yeah.
so that's associated with trauma because you've been let down in the past, and I'm not gonna be let down
Wow.
again. So I'm gonna do it by myself.
You know, I've never even looked at it from that
It
perspective.
I link everything back to I always look at how people
That's
interact.
major.
I always look at people, then I try and figure out why do they do things the way that they do things. And for me it's always linked back to a childhood experience, adult
Yeah.
experience, or some type of trauma that they've dealt with to make them feel like, okay, this is mine. This is why people act the way that they are. And I just look at it that way. That's why I can give grace to a lot of people.
You know, I have to revisit that for myself because I didn't look at it like, I'm like, man, he crazy or she crazy. Why they
Yeah.
handle it this way or why they going about it that way?
Yeah.
And as entrepreneurs and even, you know, networking for that matter, I found that for me as an entrepreneur, getting out of that mindset of I can do it by myself,
Right.
I failed so many times
Yeah.
trying to do it by myself. Although it looked good on the outside to others who were looking in, I failed.
It's stressful.
It very
God
because look,
dang.
I was the marketing guy.
Yep.
I was a social, you know what I mean? I was
Uh-huh.
doing social media. I was
Yeah.
taking the pictures and then I had to actually cut the head and I had so many roles
Yeah.
and I shortchanged the value of delegation,
Exactly.
you know? And so
Exactly.
it was like, man, you need to, man, they like, man, AP, you should go to hair shows. You should do this. I don't need that. That was my mindset.
Yeah.
I don't need that. And so to hear that, it probably was a trauma. Wow,
It
that's
definitely.
crazy.
And then the amount of time it takes you to put a product out, because you also have to think that you're not experienced in that. So now you have to learn it, you have to perfect it, and then you have to put it out. So you know barber, but you don't know photography. You don't know this setup. These are all skills that you had to learn. The longer we wait and try to do it ourselves instead of hiring those experts that know that, we're prolonging our process.
Man, you got me really thinking.
We're going to therapy.
We going to therapy. Hey, look, if you're viewing this, drop in the chat. Give me your thoughts on this conversation. Do you feel as if it's trauma? Because right now I'm being shook. Like we ain't even been 15, 20 minutes ahead. But drop a chat. Let me see what you guys think about this particular conversation because it really gives me another eye opener on why certain people in business, why they're failing and why they are afraid to network, why they're afraid to put themselves out there. Yo, even if you fail, you should still put yourself out there.
You have to. A lot of us, but this is the social media trend. No one wants to look as if they failed. We've all failed at something, but guess
Yeah.
what? We're still here, and
I
we
like it.
learn from those failures.
I like
But
it.
we want to make it seem like we got it all together. We don't have struggles, and that's what we put that out there on social media. And then those people that are aspiring to be like entrepreneurs, all they see is perfection. So then when they go out there and try and copy exactly what you did, and they fail, well, why is it so hard for me? Not knowing the backstory, and we just have to be more authentic as entrepreneurs, as business people, say, hey, this has been my struggle. This is what I went through.
That's why I like what you're saying. I don't like to do perfect content.
Right.
Right now, what's trending is raw transparency. Yo, this is what allowed me to be successful, and this is how I failed. My
Yes.
failures have taught me how to be successful.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think people want that. I think people want authenticity, and you have to show that because, listen, I've been in rooms and I've seen it. I'm just like, this is not real. I see the
Wow.
reels. I'm
Wow.
looking at the houses. I'm looking at the cars. I'm looking at the jewelry, and I'm like, that ain't yours. That's my house, and those are my cars that you renting. That's in that video.
Wait, man. Well, you gotta unpack that because a lot
Yeah.
of young entrepreneurs, you know,
Yes.
some part of my targeted audience is inspiring barbers, barbers who are either just getting out of barber college or
Yeah.
kind of like 2 to 3 years in the industry. They want to open a shop, but they're looking at those around them. They're mad successful. Like they got the hair show trophies and this and that.
Right.
And I'm trying to help them understand that some of this is staged.
90% of it is staged. There's a very
Wow.
small number of entrepreneurs that's out there doing it at a big on a big
On a
scale.
scale, yeah.
It's a very small percentage, and if people
Wow.
could really see that, the problem is with us is we're attracted to success, and success equates to the houses, the cars, the jewelry, and all that. There are some people that can't even pay their bills, but what you see
Wow.
on camera is success. No, they're renting the house. Go to Peerspace. You can go rent a mansion. You can rent a house. You can rent a backyard. Go to Turo. You can rent a car. These are things that they're showing on camera, and people believe that this is their reality when it
Wow.
is all staged.
It's crazy how they're living a rented lifestyle.
It is a rented
That's
lifestyle, but it is
wild.
presented as this is my life. But when the cameras and the lights and everything go off, what they're going back to, they're struggling. They're struggling to pay their bills. But if you start off at the top, then you don't have room to grow. So where are you going to go from here? So if I start off and I show you a multi-million-dollar house and I show you the Lamborghini and the Corvette, then at some point I have to show that I'm moving up.
I like it.
So why
I
would you
like
start
it.
at the top when just start in your bedroom?
Let me tell y'all something. Those that are streaming, no person starts off on the top. Let me tell you the
No.
only one that starts off on the top. This is free. The only person in business that starts off on the top is the man that digs graves. And he too ends up at the bottom. So you actually have to start at the bottom.
You have to start at the bottom and work your way up. And people feed into stories. They want to know your story. They want to know how you got started.
Yeah.
If you show them, oh, from day one I was successful, it's not. It's
That's
just
not
not
true.
believable.
Yeah.
And so you have to show your authentic story. People buy into stories. People buy into people. And if you show them that, they will buy into you. Yeah, there are gonna be some people that's gonna make fun of you or whatever. But guess what? On the outside, I've been in those rooms.
Been in those rooms.
I've been in those rooms of people that call me and they're showing a multi-million-dollar lifestyle, but on the back end, they calling me asking me for a job.
Wow. So how have like as far as networking, we went to last year we went to Miami.
Miami.
Yo, Miami was live. Shout out to David Shands and the podcast
Yes.
summit.
Donnie.
Donnie Wiggins, like
Yes.
it was such an amazing experience.
Yes.
I kept saying, Mo, you gotta go.
Yes.
You gotta network. Like this is
Uh-huh.
big. This is huge. Like when we were down there, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was just trying to get into the podcasting space. I was just trying to get into, trying to get my feet wet.
Yeah.
I was interviewing everybody
Listen.
as if I was already on that stage.
And you were comfortable. And what you've done since we went there, like in the summertime, what you've done, you've been consistent.
Yeah.
It shows.
Wow.
You were comfortable in that space. And the thing is, everybody there was new and everybody there was learning. So everybody was willing to jump on camera because
Everybody.
they didn't know if you were going to be the next David. They didn't know who you were.
Right.
So it was just like, let me jump on your podcast. Let me answer questions. And the networking opportunities were amazing.
It was so. Matter of fact, there was a guy yesterday. He hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, yo, man, what's your number? I need to hit you up. I need to talk to you about a networking opportunity."
Right.
And I was like, "Man, it's crazy." Now this is a guy, Mo. He got like 80,000 followers on Instagram. He was just in the, Myron Golden,
I do.
OG guy.
Ooh, $1 million
Man, this dude.
mentorship.
And you know what's crazy? I said, yo, I
Yes.
wonder if it's actually worth it.
The people that I know that are in his mentorships are the people that I know are doing numbers.
They're really
That
making.
are really doing numbers. You are not in a
Wow.
Myron Gold. You're not in his mentorship if you're not doing numbers. So when you start looking at those people that are in his mentorship, then you know those people are doing numbers.
I heard he had, I think Neo too.
Oh, he's in there.
He's had $1 million day.
Listen,
And it's crazy because my mom, this is a true story.
Uh-huh.
My mom stumbled across him on YouTube.
Okay.
And she's like, you need to watch this guy. This is like a year and a half ago. This was before the podcast summit. This was
Yeah.
before all of the things. She said, you need to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
This dude is using biblical principles.
Oh no, he's big on that.
He's big on it.
Oh, he's big on that. He's gonna break down scripture that tells you that, hey, you're supposed to be successful. You're supposed to create a business.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the people who, renting their lifestyle versus seeing Myron Golden, who's physically having a $1 million days. He's
Yeah.
coaching and mentoring guys who are climbing, you know. So this guy that I'm telling you about from the podcast summit, he was in the room with
Okay.
Myron Golden the
Oh,
other
he
day.
paid. Then you know. Then you know where he's at. And
That's crazy.
you know where he's at.
And I talked to him yesterday. I said, look, I saw you in the room with Myron Golden. I said, bro, is it worth it? He said, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm seeing numbers. He said, I'm seeing numbers. He said,
Yeah.
but it's worth it. He said they meet up 4 times a year, once
Okay.
a quarter. But the people that's in the room goes back to the networking.
Yes.
The people that's in the room, that's who you got to connect with.
Yes.
And you taught me that.
Let me tell
You
you,
taught me that, Mo.
I tell people when you go to these conferences, everybody wants to connect with the people on stage. And to be honest, and it's going to hurt some feelings, is you're not where you need to be to connect with those people on stage. You're not bringing in the money. You're not an asset to them. You're going to be more of a liability because they're going to ask you, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
How much time and energy am I going to have to invest into you to get you where I need you to be for it to be profitable for me?
Wow.
So who you want to network with, you don't want to network with the people on stage. You want to look to the people to the left and the right. And I always tell people, if you can just get in the room, get in the room. But if you can afford the VIP ticket,
Yeah.
then you need to be up front.
That's what I learned. That's what I learned. This is my coach. She taught me that.
I'm not
telling
sitting
you.
in the back.
I'm telling you, she taught me that. I was like, so I went to the Eric Thomas 120 conference. Remember I was telling you about that.
Yes.
And you was like, AP, you got to get in the room, but you can't just get the entry level ticket.
No, you can't. And if that's all you can afford, then cool, get in
Right.
the room because the information is the same.
Yes.
You're going to hear the same information in the back as you're going to hear in the front. But your ticket tells you who you're going to network with. So the people that are sitting on the
That's
front row that
yeah.
bought the VIP tickets, that's going to get the one-on-one with the people on the stage, that's your networking circle.
Yo.
Those are the numbers that's going to exchange. Those are the people that you're going to do business with. You ain't going to do business with
That's
nobody on the stage. I'm
good.
sorry, you're not.
That's good. You know what? I like what you said, too, because I used to think that way. I'd be like, man, I belong on the stage.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready.
You're not ready.
I wasn't ready. I literally would
Yeah.
be a liability to these guys when I had that mindset. And when you said you like, AP, you gotta get in the room and buy the ticket that gets you in the front.
In the front row. Let me tell you, any conference I go to, you're going to see me on the front row. The camera spanning, you're going to see the back of my head, the front, the side, you're going to see something. I'm in the front row, and it's not I'm not in the front row because I want to be seen. I'm in the
Right.
front row because I want to network with those people. So the people that are on the front row, those first 5 rows, guess what? They're doing something that I need to be doing. There is something that I can provide to them and they can provide to me. There's a skill that they have that I may not have. And then at that point, we can barter. I can hire them or they
Yes.
can hire me.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
can't
that.
hire anybody on that stage to do anything that I need them to do because I can't afford
Because you're
them.
trying to get to the stage.
I'm trying to get to the
Yeah.
stage, and the people to the left and to the right of me are going to get me to that stage. So now we can build our own networking circle. So those people on the stage, they network together. You will see that they go from city to city
do.
together.
They
So
travel.
now what you need to do is to create that with the person that's sitting to the left and to the right of you. How do we create our group? And then we go from city to city teaching what we know.
You know, I've been saying this because for me, relationships is the new currency,
It,
right?
Yes.
Not your skill set alone, your gift alone. That's cool and that's great. But if you want to get in the room and be amongst people that you can relate to and get to a space where y'all can do numbers,
Yes.
you got to build those relationships.
You have
Like for
to.
real. You really got to cultivate them. You know what I'm
have to
saying?
cultivate those relationships, and you have to bring something to the table. People
Yes.
think that they're going to get relationships with people and you don't bring anything to the table. What are you bringing to the table? What am I going
like
to
it.
learn from you?
I like it. I
Those
like
are
it.
those relationships. It's not just I'm walking in a room and I need you to do this and I need you to do that. No, that ain't how this work.
No, I'm definitely bringing something to the table. But before I got to this luxury space for my
Yes.
barbershop, it
Mm-hmm.
was during the pandemic, 2020. I knew I wanted to level up.
Yes.
I knew I wanted to bring a different curve to the community that I want to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I knew I wasn't ready.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you, I watched the movie The Banker.
Ooh, I
That's
like
a
it.
man, that's if you're an entrepreneur and you have not seen The Banker, watch that
Yes.
movie. So I'm looking at the movie The Banker. Samuel Jackson's he's dropping gems in the movie
Mm-hmm.
along with others, and I saw how they were moving. They moved a certain way, but it was
Right.
partnership. They were
Exactly.
collaborating. They were doing all. So when I watched that movie, it gave me like the motivation to create
Mm-hmm.
a space and create this space and attract the kind of guys that I want to serve.
Yes.
Right? So I'm
Yes.
like, okay, let me take the next 60 days to just study what does the guys in my area, how much do they make? What's the analytics for this area?
Mm-hmm.
I started looking at all of that. Are they family men? Are they single? What's their status? Like I started doing my homework,
Yeah.
and essentially I attracted the same guys that I wanted to serve.
Yeah. Oh, you in the area.
I'm in the
You
area.
in the area.
And I knew I wanted to attract these guys,
Yeah.
but before I got here, I wasn't ready.
Exactly.
So it's almost like don't start too soon. Make sure you're in alignment. You got to be in alignment. Like even building your team out. If you
Mm-hmm.
got a barbershop or a beauty salon or even you're an inventor,
Mm-hmm.
your team got to be solid.
Exactly.
Your team got to be solid. So what I did was I said I want to come to this area. Looking at that movie, The Banker, it gave me the fuel that I need. 95% of my clients
Mm-hmm.
are brand new clients. They
Yes.
didn't follow me from my old shop because I'm like 30 minutes away,
Mm-hmm.
right? But and I'm still booked.
Booked and busy because sometimes I can't get in. I got to make a special phone call. Like,
Hey,
AB.
yo,
Hi.
I'm booked, and it's nothing. I mean, it's a blessing to be booked,
Yes.
right? But the thing that I've learned is you got to study the demographic and study the area that you're getting ready to serve
Yeah.
before you set up shop.
You do, and you have to be ready for the area, especially if you're looking for the area that you're in. They can smell if you're not who you say you are.
Literally.
You're not going to show up on time. You're not going to be neat. You're not going to be clean.
Yeah.
They can smell a fraud. And they can say, nah, because that experience is not going to translate when you come over and say, well, this is who I am. Yeah, your Instagram channel may show
Yeah.
that. You may have the
Yeah.
best content. It
Yeah.
may be crispy, clear. Your sound is great. But you are not ready. Your conversation is not ready.
Ooh,
How
talk
can you
that talk.
conversate with that person that's sitting in that chair? What you going to talk about when you move to an area like this?
You literally have to do your homework.
Yeah.
So I read Think and Grow Rich
Yes.
by Napoleon Hill,
Mm-hmm.
who actually interviewed for 25 years the top millionaires during that
I
time.
love it. Yeah.
I mean, how the things that they think about, how did they get to everything is how you think. You
Everything.
talked about the trauma piece.
Yeah.
I correlate that with our actions and how we flow. Our day-to-day routines is how we think.
Yeah.
And so I read that book. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm not just saying this because some of the influencers that are actually successful, that's what they quote. I physically read these particular books,
Right.
right? And there is a foundation that needed to be set for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, I'm coming to this area, right? I'm from the hood, you
Right.
know. I'm coming to a suburban area,
Right.
and I had to shift my focus.
Mm-hmm.
I had to shift my mindset coming from a college town,
Yeah.
where my previous business was
Mm-hmm.
location, and coming to a luxury area where the average price point for these homes are now 300-400 grand.
Maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
It was
right?
300, 400 grand.
They-
Neighborhoods right now in this area, starting off, at least on my 700.
That's entry level.
That's entry level, 700. And I'm thinking, who is these people? Where I live,
700.
it's 700. Now, when I got in 2021,
Yeah.
2020, 2021, when I tell people how much I pay for my house, they're like, I know you lying. And the interest rate that I got, I would never sell that house.
Let me tell you,
700.
700,000. So that can
700.
give those that are watching an idea of the
Yes.
area, and the shop is maybe 10, 15 minutes from your crib, maybe.
Yeah.
And so with that, we're in this area. But here's another thing I learned. I learned to network in the circles that I desire to be in,
Yes.
right? But I
Yes.
also want to give on a level that I say one day. First of all, I'm gonna touch a meal.
Oh,
That's the goal.
that's easy.
That I'm gonna touch a
That's
meal.
gonna be easy for you.
I just want to get in the room, not for the
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
but for that's for me. It's the networking ability.
Exactly.
Because my gift alone, that's cool, and I'm blessed with a gift and all those things. But the knowledge, information,
Oh my
that's
God.
what
Yeah.
sells.
I'm telling you. I mean, just who you can run into at the gym or at the store or at any local shop. It could be anybody that's just doing something on a major level. And you can just have that conversation. Who your kids are going to school with, who they're playing sports with, the different activities that they're in. I just learned the different things that their parents are doing. And for me, it's different because they're looking at me like, how you over here and you single?
Right.
I'm over here humping. You know what I'm saying? Because most houses out here, when you look at this area, it's a family. It's
Yes,
family.
family
It's a
oriented. Yeah.
mom. It's the dad. It's the kid. It's the
Yeah.
dogs.
And
Yeah.
here you,
And here
and
I
here you're
am.
single.
Listen, I'm telling.
Yeah.
And I had it.
Yeah.
When I walked in to look at my house,
Yeah.
I walked in by myself with a realtor.
Wow.
It was just me. I went upstairs, came downstairs. Gave them the check and say I want the house. A family walked in behind me. It was the mother, the dad, and the daughter. They walked in. They walked down. They said we want the house. He said she already gave me her earnest money, so it's basically her house. He goes, but we're a family. As if.
Wow.
Yeah.
That trumps you being by yourself.
That it trumped me being by myself.
Wow.
And I went through some things. They wanted me earnest money. They wanted me to put. I think I gave them a $3,000 check. They came back and said we need 10,000 just to make sure that you're really.
They was trying
that
to
you-
give it to the other family.
They was trying to give it to the other family because it was the perfect scenario. So I gave them $10,000 to let them know. Now this check gonna clear.
She don't just look like this.
I be working. I be working.
But I don't like that though. Like how they
No.
trying to move you out the way because you came in as a single person,
Yeah.
and this family who has a family or however many,
Yeah.
one daughter, whatever. I think that's I get it,
Right.
but you came in there just as loaded, whatever, you know.
Right. But I mean, it's just how they think. You know what I'm saying? Who is she walking in here by herself? I just walked in. They're probably looking bummy. I wasn't looking.
They trying to judge you on your
Yeah.
swag. Yeah.
The agent called and said, "Hey, I got a house for you."
Wow.
And I said, "Okay, I'm gonna hop in the car. Let's come over here. Let's do it." Hopped in the car, went over there. I love it. Let's go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, like I say, this area is booming.
It is.
That's of course again that's how we met. But you taught me so much about, even in our first conversation, about networking and about how it is so important to, really put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then at the end of the day, I think some of my greatest success is because I took some advice from you, along with studying that you cannot do it by yourself.
You cannot do
You
it by
can't.
yourself. And I didn't start moving until I started investing. The biggest investment that you're going to make is in yourself. You can't think that you're going to get everything for free. So I hate when people say you can start a business for free. It's no such thing. You can start a hustle for free.
I like that. Wow.
You can't start a business for free.
Business and the hustle.
Business and hustle is two different things. Now it's going to take hustle to get that business, but the hustle it's in you. The hustle is free. The business is not. So
That's good.
you have to invest in yourself. The amount of money that I invest in myself to go to conferences, to get in the room, to be around the people that I want to network with and I want to grow with, that costs. I'm not going to get that for free. So that's not even the business. That's just investing in myself so that I can take that information and invest in my business.
So what would you say, ballpark? You don't have to get too personal.
Mm-hmm.
What's ballpark? What do you think you spent over the past 3 years? I know you go
3 years?
I know you go to conferences. I know.
I done spent over 6 figures just investing in myself.
Jeez.
But I will tell you, it didn't start off like that because the first time that I had to buy a ticket, I was like, y'all want me to do what? What y'all talking about?
Yeah.
What is y'all talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to me, there are people that's going to laugh and say, 6 figures, that's nothing. I can spend 6 figures at one. But it's levels to it. Just if you have to get in the room, Get in the room, buy the $25 ticket. And then eventually you're gonna buy the $200. Then you're gonna buy the 500. Then you're gonna buy the 1,000. Then you're gonna buy the 25,000. Just to get to where you need to be. Because some instances they want to
That's
make sure
crazy.
that they really want to make sure that you're serious. They don't want everybody in the room. Everybody can't pay that amount of money. And it's not to say that you're not serious, but you're not at that level where you can pay that, and therefore you don't need to be in the room. Because when you pay 25,000, when you pay 30,000, when you pay 50,000, they are moving so fast that it is crazy. That your business have to already be running, and you need to already have revenue coming in, because they're not there to teach you. 25, $30,000 mentorship. You need to be running
That's
already.
amazing.
They're just going to give you little nuggets that's going to take you to the next level. That's all they're going to do. So pay the $50, $100, 250, 500, the 1,000,
Work your way up.
and work your way up to your level. Don't try and get up here and you just got an idea.
Like, let me just try to shoot my yeah. And
Yeah.
and the thing is, what I like about it, I said I want to get in the room, but I also want that to be my norm every single
Yes.
year. And I also, I'm gonna tell you another thing. This is a gym. I'm looking for a business coach.
You have to.
I'm gonna give me a business coach.
You have to. And
Yeah.
I don't think that I have a specific business coach. And I take that very seriously when I say you're my mentor, because that says a lot about you. For me, I don't know everything, but I know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I can sit and I can learn. But I need to know that you can really mentor me. Like, I don't play no games about my time. You
Yeah.
don't play, because I know
Yeah.
some fake mentors out there.
They faking.
I'm gonna tell. Let me give y'all another nugget real quick. I'm gonna tell you what these people do. So there are people, because I was in an organization as such, and the organization was great. They give you a lot of information, and they give you all of these different things that you can make money. It could be credit, car rental, taxes. It could be any number of things. And they bring experts in that field to teach you how you can get into the business. Then let's say somebody like me would be like, okay, well, I'm interested in taxes. So I'm going to sign up for their mentorship. I'm going to sign up and I'm going to learn how to do taxes, right?
Yeah.
Then now that I've taken a course, now I create a course to teach you how to do taxes because I'm the expert. No, you're not.
Wow.
And then they create mentorships to say, hey, I now, I can teach and I can mentor you how to do taxes. I've made over 6 figures doing taxes. You ain't made nothing.
Wow.
A lie
That's
don't care who tell it.
crazy.
What Cat Williams
Don't
say?
matter who
What
tell it.
Cat Williams say? I don't know why liars lie.
Wow. That's crazy. So what like is, in your opinion, Mo, a success story from you being able to be in the room, network with some people, and you seen real fruit, like real results?
I actually have a couple of success stories. And just because when you get to know, when you go and you network with people, you're gonna find your group. You're gonna find those people that just who you are, you align with them.
Yeah.
And then you get to know them outside of the business. You almost become family, like me and you.
Yes, my
Like,
fam.
so I can even talk about you and your success story.
Let's do it.
Just from where I met you, you were already doing numbers. You were already doing great. Then we started talking.
Yeah.
Things that you know, things that I know. Hey, start going to conferences.
Yeah.
I'm giving you nuggets. You're giving me nuggets because of where you are. You're introducing me to people that are doing numbers
100%.
here.
100%.
You're talking about me. I'm not even in the room, and
Yep.
you're talking about
Yep.
me.
All the
I'm
time.
talking about you, and you're not even in the room. And then when you decide, hey, I need to level up, you make the jump.
Mhm.
You make the jump from where you are.
Yeah.
You move into a bigger, better space.
Yeah.
We go to a conference. You start meeting people. You get in the room. And now here we are filming.
You know what's crazy? When we were at the conference, I was thinking about, wow, Mo told me, AP, don't get no entry level ticket.
Don't do it.
Don't you do it.
Don't do it to
And
yourself.
the amount of people that we were able to meet,
Yeah.
and the quality of people.
Yeah, what you look like sitting in the back of the room. And it's nothing, again, I'm going to say it's nothing wrong with that, but why would you pay $25 to sit in the back of the room because there are certain things. Remember, we went to the conference, and if people didn't read the small print, when they said who has questions, who got to ask questions?
People in the front.
The people in the
The
front.
show. I
They
remember
did
that.
not. They did
remember that.
not go to the back of the room and take questions. And he said, I'm sorry, but it says the people who bought the VIP package,
Yep.
they get to ask
The
questions.
That's right.
So if you had a question that you wanted to ask, you would hope that you would only hope that you could catch them outside to ask them the question. But you were not going to be able to ask that question in the midst of it while it was on your mind.
So you kind of lose out. Yes, you can be in the room, because I am a firm believer.
Yeah, just get in the room.
Just get in the room.
Yeah.
I'm with that. And especially if you're just starting out. There's always going to be conferences. There's always
Yeah.
going to be networking events that you can go to.
Yeah.
But for me, I've learned that, like you say, you got to get in the room, get the VIP ticket, because the energy is just different.
It's so different.
Woo!
It's so
It's
different.
different.
It's so different.
Man, it's an experience.
It's an experience. And then after you're in the room, now you're gonna go have the private dinner. Now it's a more intimate setting. Now you're sitting around a table. Now you're really learning these people. What do you do? What city you're in? Let's exchange numbers.
Absolutely.
Then you have the exclusive where y'all may, after the conference is over and everybody's flying back, y'all staying the next day and y'all going to a mastermind with just those people. You're going in a mansion, or you're going on a yacht. And then it gets even more exclusive. These are the people. And if that's where you are, those are the rooms that you want to be in. You spend a little extra money to get what you need.
And listen, success ain't cheap. You got to spend the money.
Nope.
Like, you literally got to sacrifice and spend the money. I have learned so much being in these rooms that I can apply to my barbering career that I'm still implementing. Like, to this day, I'm implementing. And guess what? My clients get the benefit from these, being in the room.
And your clients can see the conversation is going to change. The quality is going to change. And they're going to be like, I see you, AP.
100%.
They see the things that you're doing. They see how you're growing. And so when you go up on that price, $5 or $10, they don't know what they're going to get. They don't even think about it. It's not even a conversation of, dang, you done went up $10, because they know what they're getting.
Yo, shout out to VIP Barber Lounge.
Come on,
put the
VIP.
link in the description. You should come check me out. But you know what's great? I'm going to tell you what's great. The quality of people that we're reaching is now they're here for whatever's next.
Right.
Because I know whatever is coming, it's going to be worthwhile. But not only that, I know that my barber, he invests in himself. And that's what it boils down to. Yeah. Like, the person that says, I can make it with what I have, my gift, my resources, as far as your money goes, that's limited success to me. Yeah. It takes people. And if you're selfish, you're going to end up by yourself anyway. Exactly. Selfish people, they finish by themselves.
They do.
100%.
And it's not to say that you cannot make money, but you're going to hit a glass ceiling, because you can only go as far as you know. You only know so much information. So as much as you've read, as much as you've researched, that's just about how far you're going to go. So if your goal is to make an extra 500, 1,000, then you're going to go there. Then if you want to make a little bit more money, you're going to have to invest. Gotcha. You're going to have to invest in order to get where you need to go in life, where you want to be.
I love that. So for 2024, what's one of your main goals from a networking standpoint you're trying to execute on?
My main goal, networking, is to get into bigger rooms. And it's because I think I deserve. I've done the work.
I love it.
I'm real low key.
Yeah,
sure. I don't do too much. But when I walk in a room, I want to be in those rooms where I want to be, as in life, in business. I want to get in those $1 million rooms. I want to be able to swipe that card and say, I'm gonna pay $50,000, $80,000 to get the information where I need to grow my business. So that's my goal this year.
So check this out. We're gonna put the links in the description. You gotta follow Mo. She's an amazing inventor. The things that she got coming this year and the years to come, more so this year, it's gonna be a game changer. I can't wait till you guys get a chance to check out not just what she's doing, but just like you said, the rooms that she's gonna be in. We're gonna do an episode on it.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do the episode.
Let's go. We're gonna be there together. I ain't gonna be by myself.
Let's go. Let's go.
You coming with me.
The power of networking. Listen, if you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor. Subscribe to the link down below. We're coming, we're building a community, and we can't wait to see you next time. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, yo, check this out. If you like this episode, do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe down below. We got amazing content coming your way. Stay tuned for more. Let's go.